Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pestrogen Podcast. In this episode, the Pestrogen crew is back in the field, and this time they're bringing stories from long days, unpredictable jobs, and the realities of life in pest control. Jenny and Candace swap tales from a hectic workday complete with surprise helpers, stubborn service calls, and the kind of chaos that only comes with the job. They're joined by a seasoned industry veteran whose decades of experience open the door to deeper conversations, everything from termite swarms and evolving pest residents to the hard-earned lessons that come with time in the field. Along the way, the group dives into the quirks of licensing laws, the challenges of different regions, and the ever-changing tools and techniques used to stay ahead. But beyond the bugs, this episode is about growth, learning on the job, leaning on your team, and finding your place in an industry that's constantly shifting. Whether it's navigating your first solo job or reflecting on a 30-year career, there's something here for anyone who's ever had to figure it out as they go. This is Pestrogen, unfiltered, experienced, and always evolving.
It's time for the Pestrogen Podcast with your hosts, Jenny and Candace.
Hello and welcome back, all my pretty pesties everywhere. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of the Pestrogen Podcast. I am your co-host, Candace. Alongside with me, as always, is my beautiful and wonderful Jenny Wilson. How you doing, Jenny? How's your week been?
I'm doing good. Thank you. It's been a long week and I'm sore. Ramping up the summer. But how are you, darling?
I'm doing good. I had a hell of a day today. I had technically only 4 tickets, but it was 13 stops, or 13 houses, I should say.
Damn. Yeah.
Because, we were finishing or doing our dairy. 4 of them still had to be treated from the initial treatment we weren't able to do because it started pissing rain on us. And then the 6 that needed to be done for their monthly service. So that was like from 9 to 3-ish is when we did that. And then I had other ones in the same location, or not same location, but same vicinity. God, that was insane. Luckily, I had Jude with me, so that was helpful. He was checking stations for me, helping me web. I had to treat. He's not allowed to. He's only 16. And then when he did find stations with, fed on rodenticide, I had to go do it because he can't touch it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Aw, that's so cute, though.
Oh, yeah. Then I had to get him lunch, and then after work lunch, he needed more food. He's like, I'm hungry.
Uh-huh.
But, 16, growing, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had multiple of the guys there on the dairy telling me how great of a worker he is. I've been watching him. He works so hard. I'm like, yeah, playing with the dogs, but okay.
That's cute.
Okay, I did tell him to play with some of them just so they would be, off of the house so I could treat it. But
Fair.
whatever. It was great, though. He's a good kid.
He's a good pest control wingman.
And as I told you, he's a character. Haven't decided yet if he's the hero or the villain. Thinking more anti-hero.
Yep.
Deadpool-ish.
Yeah, that's our favorite. It's fine. That's fine. That's great.
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Normally, Kyra would have went with me on one like this because Kyra's old enough and has a immediately supervised trainee license, so treatment and rodenticide usage is allowed. But Kyra had a midterm to do today in the middle of the day, so it just wasn't going to work. And Jude just happened to not have school today, so perfect.
That's cute. Like, yeah, that's awesome. But we do have a guest with us today, and we are doing, he's looking around, we're doing another alumni of the Get Schooled program with Pestrogen with Brad Harvey. How are you?
Thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor that I've been waiting for so long, and it's good to be here. Everybody having a good week?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's over. Good God,
Yeah.
I'm happy it's over.
Yeah. See, I don't have to ask Jenny if she's had a good week because I know whether or not she's had a good week because we work together there at
Yes.
Trio Pest Control. And Jenny had a hell of a week.
Yeah. I started out the week in Indianapolis and then ended the weekend for Wayne. And yeah, I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah, and then next week she's going to be starting the weekend in Fort Wayne and ending it in Indianapolis.
Yep.
But I've got to take my hat off figuratively. This is not coming off right now. My hair looks like shit to Jenny because Jenny did successfully and efficiently complete her very first solo termite job upon receiving her termite license. So Jenny, congratulations. I was really proud of you to see how you went through, how you took care of everything.
Good job, baby.
It was worth the 80,000 texts you sent me to get that done.
Not only was it my first solo by myself, whatever, but it was a huge house. And there was
Yes, it was.
There's a lot of concerns with it because it was in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, where's the well? Is the basement beneath this patio? You know, like a lot of like
exactly
concerns that I'm like, I could fuck this up.
And which is great. And any person any veteran that's been in the business as long as I have that's worth their salt appreciates being blown up when somebody that's new to something isn't sure of what they're doing, or just at least needs some validation regarding it, because that's the name of the game. You're not expected to have every answer in the world, and if you don't have the answer, for God's sake, swallow your pride. Reach out to somebody that might have the answer and get it taken care of. And Jenny did that flawlessly. So
beautiful.
Chef's kiss. So yeah, you did an outstanding job, and we're looking forward to getting the 2 that you have on your schedule next week taken care of for us down here in Indy.
Yes.
Actually, it's only 1. They moved 1 over to me, but whatever. Yeah, look at you. Ha ha. This is one I can get away with murder. I've got the one I've got. They're selling the house, and the buyers want termite work done. The termites are already dead because they had bait around it for years. But they're like, no, nothing doing. We want this done liquid. Okay, no problem. So
fuck it, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I'll drill your new house.
Let's say,
enjoy yourselves here. Yeah.
I don't fucking blame them because
yeah.
The shit I've seen lately, like,
oh yeah, termite season this year has been gangbusters.
It's swarmers fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the strongest swarm season we've had in, gosh, at least over 10 years. And it's been really great. So, we've all been wondering what the fuck's going on with the termites. We've had some
incredible
swarms.
For me, because I have literally shown up to a cockroach job last week. And I'm like, hey, I'm here for cockroaches, whatever. Look down, see a German cockroach. Okay, cool. Right. And then I turn and I see swarmers in the corner.
Yeah, you got to love that. So, yeah, that's an instant nice proposal right there.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
It's insane. I'm glad that I've had the training I have within this last year, because if not this year, I would have been like, what is a carpenter ant? So like,
it's something.
What do we do with it? So I'm glad, because this has been an epic
I love
year.
it when you've got a regular pest customer that's a bit of we'll just call them assholes, for lack of a better term. And, they're like bitching at you. It's just another thing. Now they're calling again. What are they calling about? Oh, they've got flying ants everywhere, and they're just shitty because you guys aren't doing your job. You go out there and they're termites. It's like, this ain't covered. You're going to have to get something done with this. Yeah. Let me show you what a termite could do to a house. And then you get your little pages out. It's like, yeah, look at that. See that? Yeah. That's what a termite could do to a house.
Yeah.
And then, then you leave them in virtual tears, and like, you want to feel bad for them, but you really don't, because they've been such assholes to you for years. And then all of a sudden, boom, they got termites.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like, I did a WDIR today, and I asked them, it was just a refinance, but I asked them, when was the last time you have been treated, or this house, how long have you had it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we've had it 30 years, and we don't think it's been treated within that time. And I'm just like, oh, like, well, all right. Yeah. We'll see. But
I don't even do termites, and I know that's a oof.
Yeah, it's just like,
oh, yeah.
It's just bound to happen.
Do you guys
one day.
not have, Candace, do you guys not have much termites there?
We really don't. I know, according to Brandon, I don't have a termite license, so I could be completely wrong. But according to Brandon, majority of our termites here, I would guess probably between like 85 to 90% are just damp wood. So you get rid of that damp wood, you're good. You don't have to worry about treatment and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah.
We do have subs here, but they're like not very common.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot of termite treatment to do. That's why we don't worry about getting like a termite rig and whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's
I get all
pointless
that.
for us. And like there's a few local companies around here that do have it. So like we found one that we liked because they did do a termite treatment for our property manager that we do. Brandon went and inspected it afterwards because he has done actual termite treatments. He's done them. And he was like, hey, they did a really good job. I like this. I will refer anybody that's after termite work to these people. That's just how it is. No finder's fee stuff for it. No nothing. Just, call these people. I don't know their schedule. I don't know their pricing. They're their own company. Just call them. But he'll still inspect for termites and whatever. I obviously can't, like I said, not licensed to do it. I can't even treat for carpenter ants, which really sucks because I find them a lot. And I'm like,
Wait a minute. You can't treat for carpenter ants.
Nope, because they're wood destroying. I do not have
shit.
a wood destroying
Really?
license. Yep.
Wow.
I cannot.
Fucking Oregon, man.
Yeah. I cannot actually treat for carpenter ants. Now, if my treatment actually kills the carpenter ants, so be it. But I can't specifically treat for them. So yeah, it's kind of stupid.
I'm gobsmacked. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because they are technically wood destroying.
Damn.
Okay.
And
I get it, but I don't get it. I mean,
yeah, I'm the same way.
You can control carpenter ants using the exact same products that you are licensed to use to control other pests.
Yep.
That makes absolutely no sense. And,
I know. I didn't realize that one time I was getting ready at one of the places that I service. They have a shed in their backyard that always seems to get carpenter ants. And that's originally why we were called there, is they went from the shed to the house. And, Brandon took care of them out of the house, back to the shed, whatever. He took care of them there. Next summer came, and the tenant told me that he had seen some out there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And Brandon had just happened to call me right as I was getting ready to treat them because I didn't think about it. I'm like, oh, it's an ant. And he's like, technically you can't do that. And I'm like, what? He's like, you're not licensed for wood destroying, huh? And I'm like, crap. So he had to make the 30-minute drive to me to come treat for them. I know. I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, because he was like, well, how would you treat for him? So I told him, blah, 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 I would do this and yada, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, perfect, but you still can't do it. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah, it's stupid.
It's funny about licensing and stuff. I mean, because you brought me on here because I'm old and I know things. So being the old school, when I first started in pest control, you didn't even need like an RT to be registered.
wow.
All you had to do was work under the other guy that had maybe the category license as your supervisor. I could go out there and just do pretty much anything without a license and or even a registration. So I was, I found out about I didn't even know about the licensing process for years when I started in the business. And when I first found out about it, I said, this is what I need to do. I mean, if I'm going to advance anywhere, for some stupid ass reason, I told myself, you know what, management would be cool. So I approached my branch manager and said, hey, I'd be interested in getting my RT. He goes, well, what the hell you want your RT for? And I was just like, I was kind of dumbfounded when he said that. So I had to spill the beans. I said, because I'm interested in advancement. And so he goes, you know what? I think you'd make a good manager. He lied. And so
bullshit.
so I was able to get, I was able to start obtaining my licenses. And as I obtained my licenses, the doors started opening a little bit more for me. So, even if you don't need them, nugget of advice here for anybody that's listening. If you live in a state where you really don't need the license, it's probably best to go ahead and get it anyway, because it gives you a little bit more gravitas as far as, if you are wanting those doors to open. If you want to see a tech, all my respect. I get it. Right. But if it's something that if you want to climb up a little bit, then having those licenses under your belt is definitely a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. More education never hurt anybody.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I've been in the business for 34 years, and I learn new shit every single day.
Yeah, and I don't like the people that think that they know it all because they've been in it for so long. Like, oh, I've seen that, I've done that, I can do this, I can do that, and it's like, shit changes.
Uh-huh.
Even the insect changes what it's going to react to, what it's not going to react to, what it's immune to now or resistant
Right.
to, and it's like,
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah, that's a great point, Candace, because even though in 34 years, insects have not evolved that much.
No.
They're not growing extra appendages or anything like that. But I have seen so much immunity being bred into the species of any species of insect, be it cockroaches, bed bugs. And don't get me started on bed bugs. Everything. It's incredible. It's like you'll start using something and it works, and then all of a sudden it don't fucking work anymore. And so that's where education comes into play. There's always new and exciting different products that are coming out to be able to wipe them out. I mean, let's use bed bugs for the sake of argument. There was a product that came out for bed bugs, I'm not going to mention it, that seemed like the be all to end all for the bed bugs. When I first started using it, I was just dumbfounded at how well it was working. And now all of a sudden it don't fucking work anymore.
That's what I've heard, that it's not working that well anymore.
It's not working that well. I don't know if it has anything to do with the environment that we're actually using it on. Maybe we're being a little bit more relaxed on the parameters that you need to get it taken care of. I don't know if it's the fact that it was sold out to a big conglomerate or whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I digress. But whatever it is, it's just not bloody working for us anymore. So we're going back to the old traditional stuff, which is heating the fuck out of them. And I get very few recalls on a heat job. Just saying.
Hey, if it works, it works, man.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I was really wanting to try what you were just talking about, but we get so few bedbug jobs, it just never seemed worth it to me to buy the whole system and then, the actual material for it. We get like one a year. I'm not even joking on that number either. I can literally look back at our bedbug jobs through Gorilla Desk, and it has been one a year. I haven't had one yet this year. One a year. That's all we've done. And I'm like, it's not worth it. But then, like, hearing you saying that it's not working that well anymore, and I'm going, I'm kind of happy I didn't buy into it.
I'm going to a house. We're going to a house sometime in May, where we have used 3 different types of products to try to control the pests, and now we're going in there to heat the damn place, and we're not charging them a dime to heat it. So the issue that I have right now with this particular pest is I'm getting to the point where it's like, don't fix it if it ain't broke. We got something that works. Let's just keep using it. Does it cost a little more? Yeah, sure. I'm to the point where it's like, don't fix it if it ain't broke. It's like, we know this technique works, but we're trying to come up with a more affordable way of taking care of this. And I get that, people can't afford. A lot of people can't afford a heat job, but damn it, it works. It's the most effective way of getting rid of them. And the chemicals they're building up resistance to, the biological is so damn premenstrual that there's so many things you got to do in order to make it work. And I shouldn't have said premenstrual, but Jay, I'd cut that out when you're editing, please. But it's very temperamental product. So
yeah,
but we can go in, we can spend a day there, and we can wipe them all out. That's kind of what I'm pushing, and it breaks my heart because I really had so much faith in this product.
Yeah, like I was so excited for like the whole aspect of it. And then seeing how like excited you were for it and Paula was for it, and then I'm just like, now Paula really hasn't said anything bad about it. I don't know if she still uses
Paula's
it or
still
not.
a disciple for some reason, and she must know something that I don't.
Maybe it's still working for her there.
Yeah, and I don't know, but all I know is what we've been doing is has been working as far as the nuclear option, and
Yeah. Yeah, our bed bug jobs consist of steaming and then crossfire, and
Yeah.
we have yet to have an issue with it.
See, that's the thing. I'm finding resistance to crossfire now.
Yeah, see, we haven't.
Yeah. Well,
So
lucky
I'm
you.
thinking, right? Besides, there was a hotel here that decided they wanted to heat treat their own room for one, okay? So they heat treated a hotel room, just one, for 24 hours straight at 140 degrees.
Right.
We walked in there and their floors were like this. They were just wavy.
Yeah, not the vinyl
That's way
flooring.
too
God
long.
damn.
I learned
And
that
then-
the hard way.
When we were, because one of the housekeepers has said they had seen a roach in like their break room area. So we're looking through there and Brandon finds a bottle of Crossfire. So he pops it open and the tab, or, it's been broken open, but it's still pretty full. So he brings it to the manager and was like, "What the hell is this? Why do you have this?" And, "Oh, well, one of the maintenance guys used it." And he was like, "How did he use it? Like, it's a 13-ounce bottle. You're supposed to use the whole 13 ounces." I'm like, "Oh, no, he just used an ounce of it." What the hell?
Right? Like,
Like,
what?
okay, this is how you breed resistance in things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Brandon was like, "Okay, I'm just going to go put this back." And
Yeah.
he did not put it back. We'll just say that.
Fuck that. Yeah, no.
God. So, hey, ladies, ask me some questions.
Anyways, okay. So how long have you been in the business? I know we've gone kind of
I
through
have-
that, but
I have been in the business for 34 years. I started in the spring of 1992, and it's the same spring that God graced the world with one Jenny Wilson.
ooh, what a beautiful spring it was.
A beautiful spring morning. I remember it so well. I was getting ready to setting things up for a family function when the phone rang. And it was my let me see if I'm gonna try to remember this straight. It was my sister-in-law's husband's half-brother who was the service manager at the Big Green Tea. And he says, "Hey, we got your application. We talked to you. We'd like to get you into, maybe make you a job offer, but first we got to take a drug test." So after I hung up the phone, I snuffed out my joint, and then that was it. That was it. For 17 years, I did not smoke pot. And that's basically how I got in the business. I had been working at a couple of different places. My original work experience came from restaurants. It was fast food, moderate service, full service. I was a line cook. I was a line supervisor. I basically, just basically worked in food. And I would come in some mornings to open to find everything covered in plastic and the plates, the line and everything, and instructions to wipe everything down. And that's because this establishment called Bugs Burger would come in once a month and fog the entire fucking restaurant.
Oh.
And even though they fogged, I would still find cockroaches. So I was, I got married, and we bought a house, and, because I didn't buy a bunch of avocado toast. But anyway, we bought a house, and, that following spring that we bought the house, we had a lot of rain and we had a lot of bugs coming in the basement. And, so I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go buy a jug of Ortho or whatever the fuck, Spectracide is what it was called.
Yeah.
And, get a couple of bombs. I sent Ellen and the dog out of the house for the day, said, "Go visit your mom," whatever. And I would treat all the little nooks and crannies in the house. I would set these bombs off. I too would escape the house for a while, go out drinking with my brother Mark, or Daryl, back when he drank. I'd come back to a bunch of dead Oriental roaches. And then I did that for a long time, and I got to a point where we decided to start a family. My beautiful, esteemed daughter, Emily, was born, also known as Mo. And so we, after that, this $5, $6, $7 an hour shit wasn't cutting it, especially with back in, with a 10.5% mortgage, with, a new baby. I'm scrounging through the sofa looking for change to try to find diaper and formula money. I'm doing scratch off tickets, which by the way paid off really well. I had this one grocery
Perfect.
store I used to go to, and Ellen would give me a list of stuff that we needed. I'd buy $1 scratch off ticket. I'd scratch. And for the longest time, I would hit for exactly close to what we needed to pay for the groceries that I was going to buy, which was awesome. And then all of a sudden it dried up.
Perfect.
And by the time it dried up, I was like, I need to do something else. And then this opportunity came along. And who knows, who would have thought that I would actually fall in love with it? I got in there and did everything. And I was telling my boss, who again was my sister-in-law's brother's half brother, and my sister-in-law's husband's half brother. And I told him, I said, and I used to have the water bugs. He goes, water bugs? I said, yeah, they were dark. He goes, oh, Oriental roaches. I said, yeah. He goes, well, what'd you do about them? I told him what I do. He goes, you know what? That's basically what we do. I said, so shit, I've been in pest control this whole time and didn't even know it.
Well, look at you go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And so I fell in love with the job because it was rarely boring. I was making a lot more money than I was, working in working behind a counter at a deli or a restaurant or what have you. And the hours were maybe a tad more regular. I'm not going to say they were completely regular. I mean, what
Right.
with the early mornings, the clean outs and stuff like that. And back when I worked at the Big Green Tea, we were responsible for making our own calls at night and setting up our own schedules and shit like that. And that cut into a lot of fam time. Because one time it's like Emily, still a baby, she was calm down. I said, I'm going to take advantage of this and make my phone calls. Ellen hit the fucking roof,
Oh.
because this was the time that I usually took Emily and gave her a break and gave Ellen a break and everything. But man, she just went ballistic. And so I was like, okay, so I'm sitting here with Emily in my arms. She's still cool, which is great. And I got Emily in one hand, the phone receiver in the other. Because yes, back when I first started in pest control, we had these phone receivers that actually had a wire that like pigtailed down to the actual wall.
Like that one.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, similar to this, and took care of it that way. Things were a lot different back then, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It really was. So most of the
That's
companies
cute.
now, I believe, actually, they have people in the office setting the schedules. So basically, all you got to do is pick up your phone and look, and that's your day.
Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah.
how ours is for the most part. Like, we have a few clients that we let know that we're coming because, like, most of them don't care if they're
Mhm.
there. They know that we do the job. They can see the results.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they just like to be there because they just want to see us or whatever reason.
Right. Yeah. That's a
Or they
level of
need
trust
to,
that's not around everywhere, though.
yeah, or they need to make sure that they have like a back gate unlocked that they
Mhm.
normally keep locked or whatever. So it's usually just like, hey, you're on the schedule for this Friday. Is that good for you? That's about it. That's
Right.
about
Yeah,
the
that's
extent of,
absolutely awesome.
yeah, I don't have to worry about, looking at tomorrow's schedule and
Mhm.
letting every person know that I'm coming. Like I said, I did the dairy today. I let my contact know that we were coming out. I think I let him know on like Monday or Tuesday. Like, hey, the dairy scheduled on Friday. Is that a good day for you guys? Because I don't know if they're super busy on a Friday or something. They don't want the extra car running through their dairy.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were cool. Yeah, he was like, yeah, it's perfect. Go for it. I'm like, sweet. And we were
Nice.
kind of worried that they were going to be upset that Jude was there, considering he's only 16.
Right.
But nobody said anything besides the fact that they were like, oh my God, he's such a good worker. But he doesn't like wander. He wasn't going anywhere. And we weren't like in the manufacturing area or
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
We're just doing the houses. But a couple of the houses, like the calves are like literally in like their little igloos. We call them that because that's what they look like. They're like
Well, yeah,
little
yeah, I've
igloos.
seen them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like in their little igloos in the backyard of one of the houses. So I brought Jude over there. I was like, come here, come look at them, And he was just like, they're so cute. And he reached in and he gave one of them a little scratch on the head. And it was just like, oh my God, hello.
Cute.
Oh, yeah, he had a blast. And then, like I
Oh,
said, all
yeah.
the dogs.
Candace, what were you drinking from there?
I was drinking
Quite
from
nice.
my beautiful Tony Spengler mug, not my tumbler. It's my mug,
And
and it's kind of hard to see.
Cheese
But
Father is drinking from a tumbler.
That's
a Tony
right.
Spengler
It's a
tumbler.
tumbler specially made by my cheese daughter.
Yes.
That is us. That is me. I think, was it our first day when you first started?
Not first day, but it was the first bald-faced hornet.
Yeah, we had
a
a bald-faced hornet nest that we were basically tearing apart to show the customer. The customer was made out of questions.
Yeah.
And so we took it down off the tree and we kind of went through everything that was going on in there, and Jenny took some excellent pictures of that. That was a really neat day. So and what's really cool is she put it in the pyramid that is Trio Pest Control.
Yeah.
And it's got my slogan on there too. Thank you for trusting Trio, which was really cool. And it's one of my it is definitely one of my favorite tumblers.
And that's me and Candace's favorite.
Oh yeah, you
Sure.
can't read it, but it says go out and
Yes.
kick some ass.
Right.
Go out and kick some ass.
And then this side says empowered women or empowering women, empowered women.
Woo.
Yeah, there
Well,
we
let's
go.
talk to the
Empowered women,
men out there
empowering
for a
women.
second,
Yeah.
because Tony Spengler tumblers actually do come in. No, I'm not going to do that.
You're
Excuse me?
No,
Oh,
you
I'm
always hear
good?
me do
Okay,
it.
well, let's
I'm
talk
like,
about the
it's a
surgical
straw,
stainless steel
Brad.
sounding rod that comes with every Tony Spengler tumbler. This thing is sharp on the ends to take care of any debris and detritus. Anyway, it's a guy thing. Some of you won't understand that, but yeah,
Oh,
the
no,
Tony
I
Spengler tumbler. I mean, it does have incredible graphics, and so it's also got the rubber bottom as well.
That's
I'll leave the
great.
rest of it to you ladies.
No, I always have to make that when I have my tumbler with me. I'm like, and it comes with the stainless steel straw, Brad.
Straw.
It's a straw, Brad.
Yes, we know. It has it is a multitasker.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of the Tony Spengler tumblers.
That's right.
And you can find them at spenglerart.com.
That's right. Because if you got Peronis, reach for Tony's. Steal urethral sounding rods.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hey,
we're not fans of Tony Spengler or TFTC at
Not
all.
at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
You guys dog us every freaking week.
Boo, boo. No, we love
Boo
you guys.
Boo his. I'm gonna put it out there. Last week you had some technical difficulties, and
I did.
I was sorry to hear that. You asked me, one of you two ladies asked me a question that I thought was incredibly poignant, and I'd like to repeat that if you don't remember it. But you were asking me, in the years that I've been in the business, what is the one thing that I feel made the most impact over those years on the industry? Just to paraphrase. And my answer to that was this.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, this thing right here has not only changed the industry, but it's changed the world.
Yeah.
The world got a lot smaller when we started carrying these all the time.
Yes.
Because, we have the entire, for some of us, we have our entire jobs at our fingertips. In some instances, in some of the smaller businesses and stuff, you have your entire business at your fingertips here, because you can access basically anything on this. I mean, your work orders, your bank, everything. This has just been the most incredible innovation. I mean, killing bugs is killing bugs. Yeah, sometimes we have to up our game with different products and different techniques and things like that. But it's always been, we're going to kill the bugs. But this right here has made everything absolutely completely different.
That's cool.
Because back when I was doing this, we had, towards the last week of the month, we would get a stack like this of service tickets that were printed on a dot matrix printer. And it was our job to go through them, sort them out, figure out by zip code or rural route and everything, and have your route make sense. They would go into an accordion style folder that was separated by days, and we would pick those up and we would get on our phone, yes, with the cord, and make those phone calls every night to let people know, hey, Susie Homemaker, this is Brad with the Big Green Tea. I'm going to be out there tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow ain't good. Fuck you. I'm coming anyway. And so And you know and that's how we ran our shit. And we'd always come up with those addresses that always make us roll our eyes, which said 2 box 180A, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? And so if you had an extremely effective and merciful scheduler, that information would be on the ticket. It's like, you know, go down Interstate 74, get off at the 300 East exit, turn left at the you know, emaciated cow, go over by the oak stump, turn left by the big rock, and you're there. And so, yeah, and that was how we got around. You know, we had glove boxes, you know, that were so full of maps that it'd take us 4 slams to get them all the way shut. We had a pocket full of
Damn.
quarters for the payphones. Yes, payphones did exist at one time.
They really did.
We were instructed to check in to the office every 2 hours for our messages. And the ones that were saying, please call so-and-so, it's like, the fuck, I got to spend another quarter calling so-and-so? Why didn't you handle this on your own at the office? At the end of the day, we would sit down, you know, we would come back to the office, sit down in the technician room, cigarette in hand, and fill out our paperwork, turn it in, we'd go home. We'd come back in the next day, we'd grab our paperwork, try to sort it out, cigarette in hand, and then go do our thing. I mean, it was a completely different game. You know, now there are so many places that don't even have a tech room, that don't have a place to, you know, where guys get to, you know, everybody gets together and bullshits for a little while before they go off on their route. They're basically leaving from their homes, looking at their phones, seeing what they got, going out and doing it. And that's a human aspect that I really miss, that I really missed in a lot of the, you know, in some of the companies that I worked for. Not the case with Trio. Basically at Trio, we come in because we fucking want to. And,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, I
very
mean,
camaraderie.
I could buy a printer. I could set it in my office, my home office. I could print out my timesheet. I could go out on my route and never have any contact with anybody at the main office except to go pick up product or, you know, maybe drop off some cash, because Bill likes to put the cash in his
He
pocket
loves
instead of the
cash.
bank. Yeah, cash is king with Bill.
I don't blame him. Yeah.
You know, and you know, to segue into something completely different, I think that's a lot to do with why I decided to start PCHD. My favorite group was because, you know, we are Pest Control Humor Depot has become, and I'm not bragging here, but I feel like it has become the tech room for the world.
It really has, and you have
mean,
every
Yeah.
right to brag about it.
We
Yeah.
you know, we have almost 12,000 members now. I mean,
Damn.
all over the globe. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, we've got guys from New Zealand, you know, Australia. We got people in Europe. We've got people in South America. It's just been incredible, and I think that it appeals to the human need for contact, communication, and just basic bullshitting with each other.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
camaraderie.
Which is something that really missed out, especially during the COVID bullshit. And I think, and that's when we started PCHD, because I feel like, you know, there was so much no contact going around. There's other reasons I started PCHD. Some of it was out of butthurt over something, but I'm not going to get into that. But it just evolved into so much more.
Yeah.
It evolved into something beautiful. Because had it
Oh.
not been for PCHD, I would have never have met you. I would have never have met Jenny. Would never have been a part of this awesome community.
Exactly. Yes.
Tear.
I know, right?
God, you guys.
Honestly, PCHD and Tales from the Crawl Space taught, like, without them, I probably would have completely left the industry and never came back, because I started in Donnie and Marie, and Tales from the Crawl Space #1 was like, hey, Donnie and Marie is a thing, and I promise you there's like a life outside of it. So in Donnie and Marie, you don't think there's a life outside of it. So then when you hear that, you're like, holy shit, okay, there's like so much more. And even from them, I ended up being in the Red Diamond after that. But, you know, it gave hope. A lot of
And it's
hope.
perfect.
Exactly.
Everything worked out for the best.
It did.
Now, speaking of the Red Diamond, Brad, I know you've worked for a lot of big box companies. Is Trio like your first technically like small company? Or have you worked for other small companies? Or has it always been big box and then Trio?
It all depends on your definition of small. Once I left Economics Labrador Retriever, that's when I started working at the Scarlet Letter. Scarlet Letter is a company that's based out of Plymouth. They actually have 6 branches, but they're all stationed in Indiana.
Indeed.
They say that they service Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois.
Yeah.
Basically what they do is they go right across the state line and run a stop. So
Oh.
it's like, yeah, we service Illinois now.
Okay.
But just
Good
because
job, buddy.
we took off the first exit past I-70 and it's like,
Right.
yeah. So. But, that, I don't think I would call that local. I would call that more regional company.
Yeah.
But as far as Trio, which proudly is the only company I will ever mention by name.
Yes.
Trio is, yes, definitely the first local, family-owned company that I've ever worked for. Which I find is great. Because, I've been there, I've done that. I've done the corporate thing. I've done the big box thing. I've done the regional thing. I've done everything except own my own business. And, that was once I just totally had it up to here with, corporate bullshit and not being able to reach who I needed to reach and having filters and having people say, you don't talk to him, you talk to me. People above me desiring nothing but yes men. I was done with it. So if I have a problem with the company I'm working at now, all I got to do is pour the guy a cup of coffee and talk to him.
Yeah.
And that alone right there is worth it. I'm not going to say, ladies, the big box places have their place in this thing of ours. One of which I would say the training. Some of the training in the big boxes is absolutely without peer, but you have to be really careful of what you're learning there. So,
Right.
I mean, if you're learning it as a technician, then yeah. Once you get all through that corporate training and get put into a branch, and they're just like, okay, fuck all that. You need to make money. Remember that stuff that you learned. Remember all the technical stuff. They have staffs of entomologists and management and stuff like that during your initial training you can learn a lot from.
Right.
They're going to get and they're actually going to steer you toward references that you can actually use on down the line. It's like, I'll take, my second pest control job, take for instance, they sent me, there was no office, it's like we all basically worked from home. They sent me a new hire packet. Excuse me. One of the things in the new hire packet was a Truman's textbook of pest control.
Oh, that's
And Truman's
nice.
is like,
Yeah.
Truman's and Malice are on the Mount Rushmore of pest control, training books.
Yes.
And so I had a Truman's in my hand and I was able to dig into it right then and there. Even though I'd been in the business for 17 years, I still learned stuff from that. So, take what you can get from the big boxes, help your family, take advantage of the company sponsored insurance, health insurance, get it on the 401k and start making a nest egg and stuff like that. And when you get tired of that bullshit corporate mentality, and you will, then look into something a little smaller or start one of your own.
Yeah, right.
Once you've got that knowledge, does it look like my one of my hands is darker than the other?
Yes, it
That's
does.
this is my window hand when I'm driving trucks.
That's your termite.
Because I'm blue collar. That's why. I'm a blue collar man.
That's
But anywho,
that's Jude's thing right now. I'm blue collar. I'm
he's
like,
blue.
boy, you're
Yeah,
16. Shut up.
He drives a beat up pickup truck, and all of a sudden he's blue collar.
Oh yeah, that's his blue
Hey,
collar rig. I'll
props
send
to-
you. I will send you a TikTok that he made because he was welding.
Oh,
He has a
my
welding
God.
class.
Please
And yeah,
do.
so his friend took a picture of him, and with like the live photo with iPhones,
Yeah.
it like loops him welding. Oh yeah, and it's got like a whole song of him being blue collar. I'm just like, whatever, buddy.
Blue collar men
That's
and
so
women are
cute.
trending right now. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have a problem on your hands, Candace. Anyway. But anyway, yeah, take what you can off the big boxes and then move on to something a little different or start your own. And it's fairly easy to do. I say that and I kind of say that with a little bit of salt in my voice because God damn, man, there's so many fucking small businesses out there, right?
There really is.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, counting us. There's 3 here in town.
Mhm.
And then even just like the smaller towns around us, there's like another 4 or 5 so that are literally small. Like one of them has, I think, a few more techs because Brandon actually worked for them prior to us opening ours. But they're all like one man up to maybe 5 techs. Just shows that's it. But even that bigger one that has like the 5 techs, they have a property manager here that they do quarterly services for. And as I have said 1.5 million times, quarterly services do not work here. And the proof of that is we are that property manager's cleanup crew. Because they'll go in, do their quarterly service, and then about the 2.5 month mark, we get called in because they're having ants or whatever. Because quarterly services don't last here. They just don't.
Fair.
Like, I have nothing against quarterly service when it actually works. Like, I'm not going to dog you guys for doing quarterly service. I don't dog Russell for doing it.
Good, because I would come right back at you like a spider monkey if you did.
No, if they work, they work. That's great.
Yeah.
But they just
and again,
don't
yeah,
work.
I mean, yeah, here in the Midwest, you can get away with it because it's a service every season. You've got an open warranty and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you guys may be different. You're in a different climate. You're slightly closer to the Arctic Circle than we are. And yeah.
Well, put it this way, that we were doing, like, it didn't get cold enough here at all this winter. We were doing flea services, like full-on infestations of fleas in, like, January and February. Because it did not get cold enough this winter. They never died off. Not even close.
Wow.
And they usually don't, because it never gets cold enough, and it never gets hot enough. We're always in that mid-range where they just live for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Not a fan of quarterly services here. Where they work, they work. I'm happy. I wish some places I could do a quarterly service at. But
sure, I totally get that. I like the quarterly services on residential only. When I got a commercial customer, especially a restaurant that's like, "Oh, can we do this only every 3 months?" I'm like, "No fucking way." It's like, no. Unless, if it's a place that sells food that is packaged in cellophane wrappers and in boxes and stuff like that, yeah, we could probably get away with a quarterly service. But when you're chopping, when you got a dead cat on the cutting board and you're dicing it up to put in the, vindaloo or whatever the fuck, yeah, I'm going to want to come every month. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. You don't like it, find somebody else.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we have a deli just outside of town that we do, and we do it monthly. And their old pest control was the Red Diamond, and the new owner of it, she absolutely hated that guy. She didn't like what he did. She had been with Brandon before. She liked monthly service. He refused to make it monthly service. So she went with us, and now she has no problems. We do biofoaming for her in her drains. Now her kitchen doesn't stink of, grease.
Yeah. Is Jenny taking a bong hit or something?
No.
Okay.
I was looking
my
at
ass. All of a sudden, big dragon comes out of her mouth. Yeah.
Jenny.
Yeah. When did you stop taking shots on the screen?
Yeah, mine's empty now. I drank it all.
There you go.
Yeah. Mine's damn near empty. And I've got to go visit my dad tomorrow, and I usually take some bourbon with him, and I may not have any.
Grounded.
That's what he's going to say.
Yep.
It's like, no, my dad always, my dad he's going to turn 87 in August, and he's got Parkinson's. And so I always take a little bit of bourbon with me because when I get there, he's just like, totally tremoring and stuff like that. And he'll give me this list of shit to do, and I'll go do it. And then when I get done, I'll get the bottle out and I'll pour us a couple of glasses, and, he gets that first one down and it stops.
That's awesome.
Oh,
It is
shoot.
so settling for the man. And, for me to be there when he's actually not having to deal with that stuff, it's fucking gold, you guys. It's
Yeah.
fucking gold.
My mother-in-law doesn't have Parkinson's, but she has essential tremors, so she gets the really
Mhm.
shaky hands. So she was having a hell of a time trying to eat,
Right.
So we bought her those like weighted,
Mhm.
and they work wonders because they're so heavy on like the handle part of it that her hand doesn't shake where she's like sloshing all of her soup or dropping all of her peas.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're amazing. And they're made for people with Parkinson's.
Yeah, you got like almost like a steady cam, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really cool though. They work
Yeah,
great.
that does sound cool.
Yeah, I think I bought
my
them off
dad's
of
not a soup
Amazon.
guy, so he didn't have to. He's into solid food stuffs.
Well, like, because it's like I bought them off of Amazon. It has like a butter knife, a fork, like a normal tablespoon, and then a soup spoon. That all came with it.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll, rotate through what she needs. But, they work great for her. Like, she doesn't, because she hated it because it's like anything she was trying to eat, even like mashed potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on top of her spoon and or fork, she would shake so bad they would just fall off.
Yeah, you hit Jenny's heart right there when you said mashed potatoes, because I know she
I
likes
love
her
mashed potatoes.
I do.
Who doesn't?
Okay, I've been on this keto diet, right? And then, so I've been eating fake mashed potatoes, but basically what they are mashed cauliflower, and they are fucking awesome.
I was going to say that's.
They are really good. But then, so Easter Sunday, I decided I'm going to go off the keto for a little while. I know I'm going to be sorry I did, because I have to go through the whole, keto fever and, liquid poo poo and stuff. But anyway, so I tried mashed potatoes. I did not like them as much as I like the cauliflower.
That's awesome.
It was kind of sad, but you know what? I'm slowly starting to adjust it. I'm down about over 20 pounds now, I think. And
Heck
so
yeah.
we'll see.
Bravo.
We'll see how it happens.
We are
It's like
proud of you.
pretty soon my neck will look like a vagina. And
Whatever.
There you go.
I was about to say,
Candace is doing it.
me and
I was like,
Candace both got you on the lobster neck of
oh, dude.
working
Yeah, you showed me your sunburn the other day. I was like, holy shit.
I got sunburn on my face.
Wasn't there like a song? Oh God, Candace. Good God.
She
Wasn't there like a
It
sun
was
that's
70 and very sunny today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 70. Ha. We were like in the 80s. But wasn't there like some sort of song or rap tune called "Don't Forget Your Sunscreen" or something like that?
Probably. There's songs about fucking everything
You're
anymore.
in your 40s. I'm not asking you.
Fuck that sunscreen. I'm about doing the sun hat. I don't like sunscreen.
You don't like sunscreen? How come?
Nope. It makes me
All the
feel
chemicals.
greasy. And the
Yeah.
chemicals. She knows. For being a pesticide girly, I'm also a crunchy girly.
Yeah, I know you're crunchy. But you know what? It's like it would actually be a good thing, because all that greasiness would help keep your skin from absorbing the pesticides.
And it just
Come on,
slide right
argue
off.
with that. Come on,
It
let's
doesn't
hear
Just
it.
feel
slide
like
right
it.
off. No, my best
Slide right
friend
off.
here, she
She's like a
literally
greasy
has
turd.
she has an allergy to the sun. If she's in the sun too long,
Shit.
she gets like hives. The
Oh my
girl's allergic
God.
to everything, so. But I bought
I am
her
part
a
lobster. Ellen, my wife, I think she's part, like American Indian,
God.
because she tans. She does not
Yeah.
burn. She tans. Me, I just crisp up, and it's like, dip me in a little mustard horseradish. I'm crunchy, but
I
Anywho,
used to tan. Now I just burn. I don't know
Yeah.
how that works,
Me
but
too.
I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah.
I-
So, okay, you guys have asked me a lot of questions tonight, but I'd like to ask you one.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Where would you like to see the pest control industry go in the future? Say you become my age and you want to look back on your achievements, the progress in the industry, and that kind of bullshit. What would you like to look back and see?
I'll go first with this.
Yes.
To begin with, I would like to see just like the typical layman, the customers, the clients, whatever, just have more general education and not have access to what we can use in any aspect, even, like the ortho home defense and because it ruins it for us. And then when they can buy our chems offline it ruins it for us because nobody reads a goddamn label. So they either under dilute or over dilute. But then, like, I have so many random people, calling our stuff poison and this, that, and it's like, it's not poison. Stop.
Right.
Even
Stop.
rodenticide, they still call it poison. I'm like, it's not cyanide. Calm down.
Right. Yeah.
But just
it's a
like the
whole different
general
thing.
education, so it just makes it easier on us because trying to change their mind that what we're doing is not quote unquote poison is really hard sometimes because they think of it as we're just trying to make it, happier for them,
Mm-hmm.
And then to me, because I really got brought up heavy in IPM with all the head starts and stuff that I do, but I don't want it to be that heavy in IPM because literally with those, I'm not allowed to use a chemical at all unless I have prior authorization, yada, yada. But to make it where, like, I'm allowed to make that decision, if, like, I need to lay down 2 grams of ant bait, let me do it.
All right.
Not have to wait 3 weeks for everybody in the system to say, yeah, it's okay. Because by 3
Mhm.
weeks, now I need to lay down more.
Right. It's a whole different ball game by then.
Exactly. What about you, Jenny?
I would like to see Pestrogen become a nonprofit and support women across the whole world. That's my dream, is
Mhm.
to see women excel in the pest control industry. And like they're doing it all by themselves already as of now. Like me
I
and
was going to
Candace
say
have
they're off to a hell of a start.
I was about to say me and Candace have seen it fucking throughout the whole globe already
Yes.
with everything, but my dream is to see Pestrogen as a group become a nonprofit that supports women in various ways, like
Mhm.
education, small business grants, all kinds of cool things that set women up in this industry because women are a minority. I mean, I don't know if they'll be a minority forever in our industry, but it's still pretty cool to support
Mm.
them, and so
Okay. I guess it's my turn to answer that question.
yeah.
Yes.
What's up?
When I would like to, look back on, between where I'm at now and where I'm going to be, and I would like to see that not be an issue anymore. I want to see where there's no need for a pestrogen nonprofit. I want it to
Right.
be, I want to see it where, men and women, alike are just together in the industry where there's absolutely no difference between the two. It's like,
Yes.
I want Jenny, I want you, Candace, I want Jenny to go into an account, any account, every account and be like, nobody's like, oh, they sent a girl or, I want to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, basically someone with a
Right.
dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to, I want Jenny to go into an account and not have to have a young girl, a child say, oh, if she can do it, we can do it, because so many are doing it that it doesn't even register. I want that to just be something that nobody has to think about.
Right.
That goes with female text, that goes with text of color, that goes with, any type of thing. I just want us to be techs. I just want us to go in and help people out, solve their problems, protect their health and stuff like that, and not have to look at all the, bobs and vagine or, the color of the
Right.
skin and stuff like that. That's my dream. And, that's what I'd like to see. I want to see, I want to see pest control technicians, be looked upon, and don't get this the wrong way, as the same way as, when you go into McDonald's and order a hamburger, you're not looking at that. It's like, oh, the person that's taking my order is a woman. You don't think about
Right.
that kind of shit there.
Right.
So that's what I want to see on the pest control side. And I think you two ladies are pioneers in making that happen. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what women, and not just the two of you, but all women, do moving forward.
We do have some pretty badasses in Pestrogen
You
right
fucking
now.
do, man. You
We
really
do. Like, some of them
Yeah.
are just fucking badass.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I strive to be as cool as you, because what the fuck? You know, because I've only been doing this for like 4.5-ish years, and that wasn't even my goal, was to actually be a tech. I didn't want to. And then I'm like, this is fun. I like doing this. Let's go do this.
One thing that really turns me on about you and Brandon, other than Brandon, is is your whole husband and wife vibe. You know, you guys are just getting it done together. It's the Nords against the world.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly.
Yeah.
And you guys go in there, you guys break each other's balls. You break your ovaries in this case, but you get out there, you get it done, you have a good time, and then when you come home at night, your husband and wife again. But you know, you guys do it, and that's where that's where the term "Nord as fuck" came from.
Absolutely.
Because,
We
because,
do absolutely adore that term too. We just love
Good.
it.
it's great. Yeah, and I use that term to describe that exact dynamic. You know, of a couple that are doing the same thing, achieving amazing results.
We're trying. Like,
So.
we have hit the point, because you told me I had to tell you guys this. We have hit the point where we're going to have to change our company structure from a DBA, which is doing business as, to an LLC. We have breached that mark, which technically we should have always been an LLC for the insurance part, but I get it. But we're hitting that part that we're going to be an official company, not just a doing business as a company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, you have to tell them. So there, I'm telling you.
You have to tell them.
Yay!
Exactly. You must tell them. Can an S corp be far behind?
Yes, we are going to be an LLC taxed as an S corp.
I gotcha. So yeah, which is great because you're going to be able to do a lot of different, business separations, business personal separations and stuff as an S corp. If you're being taxed in an S corp, I don't know. But when you're an actual S corp, Trio is going through the same thing right now. So
Nice.
So Bill is officially an employee, and as of January 1st, and I handed him an employee manual. I said, "Sign this, motherfucker."
Oh, that's great.
But no, I am overjoyed to hear that about you guys.
Yeah, we always knew it was gonna come. We're actually about a year and a half ahead of schedule. So, I mean, not too bad considering we heard from the other small businesses around here that we wouldn't even last 2 years. So here we are.
The only thing I want is for you guys to stay Nord as fuck.
And we always will be.
That's
we
right.
haven't changed besides getting the gray in the hair.
I am also.
that comes with it. I got my gray. I said this is hereditary. I inherited it from my daughter.
Yes, and Jenny is officially Nord as fuck now that she is our adopted daughter.
Yep.
She is an official Nordling.
So we have shared custody then, right? Yeah. And to be honest, some of that stuff does come from my cheese daughter.
Fair.
She's like, facts.
Hey, if they're not giving you gray hair, you're not doing your job right.
That's right.
I needed to hear that. Thank you.
Yes.
So, any other major changes in the pest industry that you can think of, minus the cell phone, that have been just crazy dynamic for you?
I would have to say that the innovation of the chemicals themselves are something that's really astounded me. I mean, the mode of actions and stuff like that. When I first started, we didn't have bait gels that were readily available. That came along when I was first here. I was also here when the termite bait started coming around. And I was also here on the ground floor of the non-repellent nicotinoids, such as Termidor, Taurus, things like that, Alpine, those kind of things. I was also in the business before things like biological controls, And I'm not just talking about that stuff we were talking about earlier about bed bugs and shit like that, but I'm talking about, the microbial things as far as that we could do to take care of fruit flies, drain flies, etc.
Yeah.
I was one of the first people to hear about integrated pest management, which I am still on the fence over because sometimes it just takes an old school motherfucker to come in there with wands a-blazing and getting the job done.
Yes.
I do believe that IPM has a place afterward.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, you got a product, you got something in there. You're not going to go in and, you're not going to go into a place that's completely covered with cockroaches, lay down some glue boards and try to educate the customer.
Right.
You got to go in there like, I'm your Huckleberry, Guns and Navarone, say hello to my little friend and take care of business. Then after that's all done and most of the creatures are dead, then we could talk about integrated pest management and making sure that this problem does not happen to you again.
Exactly.
So that's the one thing that really ticks my ass is we've got these hot dog khaki pant wearing key jangling motherfuckers that come on these social media sites and are like, well, you should try IPM, you should educate the customer, you should give them the scope of service. Fuck you, okay?
Yep.
I know what I'm doing. So, first thing I need to do is scorched earth, and then we'll talk about the pussy stuff.
Yep. That's why I hate our strict IPM because of Oregon schools. I hate it. I understand where they're going with it, but it's like, fuck, let me make the decision, not, a bunch of overheads that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
Exactly.
Until I can get to that point, it is what it is, and our contact for our schools is super great, and she understands that if we're saying we need to treat, we need to treat. She doesn't push back on it. It's great.
That's good.
And she is also licensed in Oregon School IPM, so she gets it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, whenever I sell a really horrific problem account, and Jenny can attest to this, I'm the guy that, I send in the guy that gives zero fucks, send in the guy that doesn't, that may forget to put on gloves, that fills his B&G full of pretty strong medicine and it's going to get the job done. Then I'll send the IPM douchebags in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Jenny, you know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
And
the coolest part about this, a lot of Jenny's training came from this particular guy who gives no fucks. So she knows.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, it has been amazing having you on here, and I'm
Well,
sorry
thank
it
you.
took us.
Yeah.
Sorry it took us so long to get you here.
No.
You're here now.
That's absolutely no problem. I would prefer that you waited until the timing was perfect.
It was just perfect. It was supposed to be perfect last week, but my internet said no.
It was a tad less than perfect last week, but that's
I was the
cool.
technical issue last week. Yeah, my internet just said absolutely not. But anyways,
ladies,
we got it done.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
We love you as always, Brad,
And
Mr. Overlord of PCHD, Mr. Cheese Pops, Mr. Papa Provolone.
Papa Provolone.
Père du fromage.
Yeah, that one too. I wasn't trying to pronounce that one. Wasn't happening. I have nothing else to add for today's episode. Do you have anything left, Jenny?
Nope.
All right. Well, on behalf of Pestrogen Podcast, we thank you so much for joining us for another episode. And remember to go out and kick some ass.
Go out and kick some ass. Bye.
Bye.